Hello and good afternoon. I'm here at the Saudi Print and Pack Plastics and Polymer exhibition here at Riyadh, and I'm here at the Sidel stand. It's a pleasure to meet Bassam Oussaifi, who's the Vice President Sales Middle East and Africa for Sidel. Hello,
Correct.
Bassam.
Hello, Ben.
Pleasure to see you.
Pleasure to see you on our stand.
So, tell me, how is it going? You're here in this exhibition, and tell us a bit about this exhibition. Why is Sidel here? I understand this is the first time you're exhibiting at this exhibition.
Correct. Yes.
Please.
First of all, we are very happy to be exhibiting here at Saudi Print and Pack exhibition. This is our first booth in Saudi Arabia, and we are very glad and happy and excited to be present in this developing event. The reason why we are here is that actually we are just following and very excited about the development path of the Saudi market and the development of our customers' needs. And we wanted to be here to meet our customers, to greet them at our booth, and to share with them especially some of our exciting innovations.
Brilliant. Bassam, before I get into the details of your presence here in the Middle East and a bit more, tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience with Sidel. And I understand that you've taken up a new position as the Vice President for Sales. Please share us your thoughts.
Yeah. Sure. My name is Bassam Oussaifi. I'm working in this field in the packaging industry since 2005. I joined Sidel in May 2015. At that time, I was sales director for Maghreb area. Then in 2018, I took care of the entire African continent as a sales director. And more recently, since January 1st, I took over the position of Vice President Sales for Middle East and Africa.
Many congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I wish you all the best in this burgeoning region where we can see a lot happening in the space of especially beverages and filling the lines and investments coming up both in bottled water and CSD and all the other areas.
Yeah.
Let's touch base on the regional experience of Sidel. So how was your experience here for the past, let's say, last 4 to 5 years? And we are seeing growth happening particularly in Saudi Arabia and in the GCC, Dubai, for example. So I'm sure that you had some very good success, and which you'd like to share with us.
Correct, yes. We are here in Saudi Arabia, where we have one of the most amazing references, I would say, in the area. It's a market which is focusing a lot on bottled water, and we are very happy to be the partner of Nova Water. And actually, we installed here a few years ago. We installed the fastest water line in the region, running at 135,000 per hour.
Wow,
and
okay.
few years later, we installed two higher speed lines at Nova Water, 150,000 bottle per hour each, focusing on high efficiency, high performance, high speed lines. Also focusing on the TCO, reducing the cost, the operational cost, and the total cost of ownership in general.
Right.
So this is one of our good achievement or great achievement in Saudi Arabia, in addition to many other nice references in the area, like Oman Refreshment in Oman and My Dubai in UAE, where we installed the fastest super combi 3 years ago, running at 86,000 bottle per hour. Super combi compared to a normal combi. A normal combi is a same platform having a blower, filler, and capper.
Correct.
A super combi is having on the same platform blower, filler, labeler, and capper.
And capper. Wow. All four. Okay.
Exactly. So which reduces again the operating costs and reduces the footprint compared to a standard line by around 30%. So these some examples of the amazing references and achievement that we have in GCC, particularly in Saudi Arabia, in addition to many other customers and partners that we met during the first 3 days in this exhibition. It was a pleasure to meet them. 3 very busy days, and today is the last day, so we are going to meet some more customers and prospects.
Perfect.
And hopefully next year we will be here again.
Perfect. I have two important questions. Let's start with the first one about your digitization automation from this side. What Sidel has done quite a lot. I've seen a lot of automation happening in terms of data, in terms of automation in general. So share with us what how are you working all through your workflow, right from the data all the way till the end of line. Yeah.
Yeah. Digitalization is a very important aspect where we brought a lot of innovations. We have a software suite called EvoOn, helping
Yes.
the customer to predict and also to optimize, let's say, the use of the equipment. And EvoOn actually is within a general context and strategy, focusing on introducing new technologies, digitalization, cloud storage data, and predictabilities of the machine.
Right.
So the purpose of EvoOn is to provide the customers with a machine, a piece of equipment that interacts with the user, with the operator, and with the customer in a way that it gives storage data, stores data, gets data, stores data, analyzes data, and predicts, for example, the maintenance plan, or predicts the consumption of utilities, and interacts with the customer, gives feedback, stores information on the cloud, and through a very, let's say, user-friendly platform, I would say interface, the customer is able to collect data, analyze, and get the prediction of the customer, especially when it comes to maintenance. So, and one of the modules of EvoOn actually is part of a general priority strategy of Sidel, which is focusing on the sustainability. You know that sustainability is very important these last years, and it's going to be a priority for the governments, for the customers, for all the operators in the next few years. So taking care of the planet, taking care of the CO2 emission, of the waste generated is the priority, will be the priority of everyone in the next new years. So we have a dedicated strategy, which is one of the most important strategy within the Sidel group. And the EvoOn has a particular model called EvoOn Eco, which is focusing on the consumption of utilities anytime on a running line, and interacts with the customer in case there are issues or there are parameters that need to be adjusted, rectified by the customer.
Perfect. Thank you, Bassam. Moving on to the next question, you partially touched the topic on sustainability. Now that rPET is getting more compliant, or let's say it's being accepted in our region now, let's put it that way. Yeah. So a couple of announcements in Dubai, and over here also it's happening, and a couple of brands have already started launching rPET PET solutions, rPET solutions.
Yeah.
So what's your experience? Have you worked with this particular product, and what's your experience both from a technology standpoint and also from a business standpoint?
Sure. Of course, when we talk about recyclability in our industry, and particularly when we talk about PET bottling, the first word that comes to the mind is recyclable PET, rPET. And how are we going to implement to provide our customer with the tools and the ways to use the rPET and to use recycled PET. But recycled PET is only one axis of a general sustainability strategy touching the packaging industry.
Correct. Yeah.
If you allow me, I can summarize a little bit the sustainability strategy of Sidel.
Sure.
rPET is part of it,
Sure.
but it's much more larger than that, because today customers, you say sustainability in the bottling industry, they systematically think rPET, but our strategy is larger than that. So we are focusing on three aspects, or three axes, I would say, to deliver the sustainable packaging. We are focusing on the equipment itself through some innovations. We are focusing on the packaging, and we are focusing on digitalization tools. As I told you, through one example is the EvoOn Eco. Okay. If we talk about the packaging itself, we will focus, and we started already with light weighting offering to our customers. So, okay, the PET is recyclable, but we want to make sure that the amount of PET used in each bottle is optimized. So lightweighting is very important, and through our packaging experts, we work a lot with our customers to reduce the weight. Number two also is the use of rPET. Depending on the availability of rPET, you know that rPET is not available everywhere and at the needed quantities. So when rPET is there, the customer wants to use rPET, we are there to provide him with services, flexibility on the blowers, and the needed adjustments and expertise for him to use rPET in the most optimized way without compromising the quality of the bottle. Some other innovations in the packaging also are focusing on the sustainability, and I would like to talk about one particular example, which is the one skin bottle.
Right.
So this concept was introduced for the first time in DrinkTech 2022.
Right. Okay. So it's part of the mold, I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Exactly.
Explain, yeah.
So the particularity of this bottle, it's a label-free bottle. It is made from 100% rPET, and it doesn't have a label. It doesn't have a glue as well. It's not applied on the label, and the necessary information are engraved on the bottle.
Right.
So the important information come engraved on the bottle, on the skin of the bottle. This is why we call it one skin.
One skin.
And
Just for our viewers, if you
Yeah.
can have a look at. Yeah, so that's how this innovation has been done. Yes, Bassam, please go ahead.
Yeah. And any additional details like the ingredients, the components, any other information that the consumer might want to know are actually accessible on the QR code,
Right.
which is printed
okay.
on the cap.
Right.
So anybody has a mobile phone, a smartphone, you scan and you get access to the information of the product.
So that's the QR code. Okay.
So just a few facts about this bottle. Since it's a label-free bottle, only because it doesn't have glue and it doesn't have the PE label on it, we reduced by 10% approximately the general weight of the bottle. And because it's made from rPET, it enables a reduction of 5% of CO2 emission.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a prototype, I understand, but are you planning to introduce this for any of our bottlers here?
The concept of one skin was introduced in DrinkTech
last year.
And we started since that time working on some customers and strategic key accounts on using the concept on their existing products. This is mainly, this bottle was designed for sensitive products. This is why you can see it has the shape of this base. But of course, the same concept can be used for carbonated soft drinks, any kind of soft drinks as well.
Bassam, you touched on an important point of lightweighting, right? I know that you guys are innovating this in this area.
Yeah.
But as a journalist, when I pick, there are so many hundreds of bottled water, companies producing and trying to show that they are the lightest, and they get some kind of accolades. They are self-satisfied with that. But it's not ergonomic. As I open, water spills out. I don't think it's the right weighting, if not light weighting.
Exactly.
So if you could touch, how do you help these kind of customers achieve the right weight rather than saying lightweight?
Of course, because we are not in a race to make the lightest bottle ever.
Yeah.
We did a demonstration in terms of light weighting, just to show, as an example, how far we can go with lightweighting, and we were able to blow a bottle which is 5 gram, 5.5 grams, something like that. But then, is the lightest bottle practical, and is it the right bottle for that customer in that particular market? That's another question.
Right.
So a lightweighting means for us an optimized weight to make the weight as light as possible without compromising the other needs or parameters. So the bottle should be practical, it should be resistant to that particular market, and it should be user-friendly, etc., etc. So we take into consideration the specification of the market, the needs of the customers, And then we propose to the customer the right weight using our lightweighting tools and expertise.
Okay. Just dwelling on the same point,
Yeah.
give me a rough. I don't want you to give me the accurate figure. Let's consider a 500 ml bottle. So you have a PET, which is the preform,
500,
which is 500 with a cap and the closure and the label. What are we? What's the basic weight we are talking?
We're talking about water bottle.
Water bottle.
Yeah, water bottle. If we are depending again on the markets.
Okay.
In Europe, for example, because the logistics are easy, the transportation is also easy, and usually the production centers are not deported and far from the consumption areas or from the cities, etc. They can allow the customers there allow themselves to be as light as, I would say, 6-7 grams for 500 ml. In other areas where the temperature is different, where the climate is different, logistics is different, the roads are different, that going so far in the lightweight might be a challenge and might damage the product, and of course puts at risk the integrity and the safety of the product. So this is why in many countries, particularly in Africa, we don't see a 6-7 grams 500 ml let's say water bottles. It's more around 9 to 12 grams, something like that.
All put together. And same applies for our
more or less,
Middle East region.
Yes, more or less. And also this depends on the availability of the preforms, because we can lightweight a bottle, but then the customer might struggle to find the right preform for that weight. So we take a lot of parameters into consideration, and we have at Sidel the necessary expertise and the teams that work with the customer, taking into considerations the huge amount of parameters when we design a packaging or a bottle.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bassam, there's one important question I have on the multiple structures that are there available, or rather that you cater to. I know we have spoken a lot about PET.
Yeah.
Okay, you also do bottles for glass and also cans.
Cans,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So where are we heading as we go forward? 5 years from now, where do you see Sidel growing more? Bottled water in a glass has its own advantages, but a lot of disadvantages also. I mean, likewise with metal, or let's say cans.
Yeah.
And PET, we have spoken a lot. So where do you see Sidel growing, or where do you see growth for Sidel? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, actually the three categories you mentioned are there. They have their particular use depending on the product, depending on the type of markets.
Correct.
So in the next few years, PET will be still there, cans will be there, and glass bottles also will be there.
Right.
We noticed it in the last 3 to 5 years, a return to the glass bottle, particularly the returnable glass bottles in some areas. Surprisingly, in areas like Africa, some customers are returning returning more to the glass, introducing new products in glass.
Right.
So the glass has a bright future, still, especially with its reusability and refillability aspect, and also the fact that the glass goes very well with some particular products.
Sure.
PET goes very well with other kind of products, usually water and soft drinks. So we see a future for the three categories. Your question where Sidel is going on these particular three categories,
yes.
Again, one of our innovation development focus is the sustainability of our equipment and how to provide the customer with a sustainable packaging. We spoke about EvoOn, we spoke about OneSkin. If we talk about equipment, our target from today until 2030 is to reach minus 25% of energy consumption compared to the current equipment. So we are working on energy and utility consumption, and our target is to reduce it by minus 25% by 2030. Consumption of utilities means electricity, steam, water, etc. You mentioned the glass, for example. We are working and we will launch this year one amazing innovation when it comes to returnable glass and glass bottle washers. We will be introducing this year our ultrasonic bottle washer.
Right.
This machine will simply be able to remove the labels and to wash the bottles
Bottle.
using the ultrasonic technology, which means less water, less heat, less energy. If we talk
Interesting.
about PET, for example, we are also introducing soon our laser oven to the market. The concept was presented back in 2017 in Drink Tech. We worked on it since that time, and soon this product will be part of the portfolio. We will replace, we will be able to heat the preforms before blowing using laser technology, which is again a very, very important achievement in terms of sustainability and energy reduction,
Right.
consumption.
Bassam, one last question. I promise you, this is the last question.
You're welcome. You can ask as many as you
All right.
want.
So, for our viewers and also readers of our magazine,
Yeah.
what's your message, from Sidel, especially your products? You gave us a bird's eye view of wonderful products. All the three structures that we spoke about: PET and glass and metal, right?
Yeah.
And there are some very credible and well accepted and prominent names in the market who are similar to Sidel,
Yeah.
providing solutions.
Yeah.
Let's not take out names, you know them, and everybody knows that.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you set yourself apart from, let's say, the competition or the others who are also doing a fairly good job? But I'm sure that Sidel is doing an excellent job also. But how do you set yourself apart? What's your specialty, or what's your USP, and how do you really reach out to your customer better than the others?
Yeah. I think if there is something that differentiates us from our competitors on the market, is actually our focus, very strong focus on the customer. So we are a very customer-centric company, a very customer-centric group, and anything we try to bring, including our decisions, internal decisions, or product portfolio innovations, etc., everything is focusing on the customer needs and the customer perception and expectations. So we are a very customer-centric group. One of our, let's say, I would say, important messages that we share with our people, we always tell to our colleagues, always think like a customer. And this is what's happening. So anything we try to do, we think like a customer, and then we try to deliver, whether we are talking about service, equipment, or digital product, we try to deliver quality that matches the expectation of the customer. So this is basically something that summarizes the spirit and where do we focus and where we can see a difference between us and some other operators on the market.
Right.
And consequently, I consider that we are a very flexible group. We have this flexibility mindset, so we always try to do our best to accommodate the customer needs and expectation and rapidly respond to the needs of the customer. Yeah.
Brilliant. Bassam, it's a pleasure to see you.
The
Thank you
pleasure
for your
is mine,
time.
Ben. Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much.
It
And
was a
wishing you all the
pleasure.
best for the rest of the day.
Yes.
And wishing you more success in your new position. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you.